And for generations, this state was the beating heart of American industry, and you gave the world General Motors, Ford, Chrysler, Dow Chemical, General Dynamics, and other giants of American industry and might, and then you see what's happened to so many of them because of stupid politicians largely, and stupid people that ran the companies into the ground. They didn't know what the hell they were doing. It doesn't take much. It only takes one bad executive at the top. But then foolish and corrupt politicians forced Michigan workers to watch as the jobs in the factories were leached from Grand Rapids and Detroit and Lansing and Flint and sent to foreign lands way far away, not only China in particular, but all over. But with your vote, we're going to reclaim America's manufacturing power. And basically, we're going to do what they do. We have to get the senators to agree. I think we have no problem with that, right? We're going to get the senators to allow us to do it. We're actually allowed to do it as president. We want to make it permanent. We're going to bring jobs, wealth, and pride back to Grand Rapids, back to Detroit, back to Milwaukee, and all throughout the Midwest. We're going to bring it back. And to our incredible auto workers here in Michigan, I'm pinpointing you for greatness. I'm pinpointing you because the industry has been decimated. And right now, as we speak, they're building big plants. They wouldn't do it when I was president. They're building big, giant auto plants in Mexico, owned and financed by China. And they think they're going to come out and they're going to build cars and they're going to sell them into our country and they're going to destroy Michigan and all these other places. Not going to happen because we'll put 100 to 200% tariff on every car coming across the Mexican border. And we'll tell them and we're going to be strong. The only way they'll get rid of that tariff is if you build the plant in the United States, not if you build it in Mexico. Which is what China and others do. If Elon wants to sell a car, by the way, Elon Musk gave his total endorsement. Elon, he gave me that greatest, beautiful, most beautiful. He said, we're not going to have a country left if Trump doesn't get in. And you know what I'm going to let Elon do? Unless you people disagree, I'm going to get Elon, and he's great at this. He's going to be our cost cutter. I think he can save trillions, right? He wants to do it so badly. I don't think I can get him full time because he's a little bit busy sending rockets up and all the things he does. But he's so much into that. He said the waste in this country is crazy and we're going to get Elon Musk to be our cost cutter. He's going to do it for zero. He doesn't want anything. But he wants to see this country be great and he'll do it. And having his endorsement is a great endorsement. We have some really great endorsements, I will tell you that. But we'll get him involved and mostly on that side of it. And it's going to be incredible what he'll be able to do without hurting anybody or just waste. It's waste, fraud, and abuse. Do you ever hear the expression waste, fraud, and abuse? You get rid of that, everybody lives much better. We have a country that's really strong again. If I'm not elected, you will have no auto industry. Your industry is being taken from you like candy from a baby. I see it happening with the all-electric, and I'll tell you, electric cars are wonderful, but not for everybody. I will end the mandate on day one for all-electric cars. And there's a great place, and they have a place. Like Tesla and others, they're fantastic, but they have a place, but not for everybody. They don't go far. They cost more. And they're made in China mostly because that's where they have the materials. We have something that's even better. We have a thing called liquid gold under our feet, and we're going to use our liquid gold in the form of gasoline for our cars. Oil and gas. We have liquid gold. We have more liquid gold than any country anywhere in the world. We have more liquid gold, not even close. We have more than Russia. We have more than Saudi Arabia. We have more than anybody. You know, I approved something, Anwar. I got it done. Ronald Reagan couldn't get it done. I love Ronald Reagan, but he couldn't get it done. He tried so hard. It's in Alaska. It's one of the biggest finds maybe ever, maybe as big as Saudi Arabia. nobody really knows, but it's in that category. One of the biggest in the world. I got it done. I worked my ass off and I got it done. And Biden came in. He didn't know what the hell he was signing anyway. And he terminated it. Can you believe this? This would have taken care of all of Asia, would have brought money in. We could have paid down our debt. We could have been unbelievable. We would have reduced. I gave you the biggest tax cuts in history. I would have given you a bigger tax cut. And we still will. Biden rejected it. They ended it in his first day in office, but we'll get it done quickly. It was already passed by Congress. They didn't do that. They just ended it. And the people of Alaska aren't happy, but that's a national thing. And when you get into those numbers, that's national. Would have been so great for our country, but we'll get it done very quickly. Under my plan, American workers will no longer be worried about losing your jobs to foreign nations. Foreign nations will be worried about losing their jobs to America, because we're going to take a lot of those companies back, a lot of new companies coming in. I want German car companies to be American car companies. I want them to build their cars in this country, not in Germany. I want Asian electronics companies to become Michigan electronics companies. And I want every manufacturer that has left us to be filled with regret, and you're going to become racing back after we do what we're doing. And here is the deal that I'll be offering every major company and manufacturer all over the earth, and they're going to all come in because we're the pot of gold. But we're not going to be the pot of gold forever if we don't be careful. We're not going to be. It's going to end, and we're not going to let it end. We will give you the lowest taxes, the lowest energy costs, because we have the energy, the lowest regulatory burden. I cut regulations more than any other president in the history of our country. And we'll give you free access to the biggest and best market on the planet. That's us. But only if you make your product here in America and hire American workers. If you don't make your product here, then you will have to pay a tax or tariff when you send your product into the United States. And we will take in hundreds of billions of dollars into our treasury and use that money to benefit the American citizens. So with China as an example, I took in hundreds of billions of dollars in taxes and tariffs. No other president took in 10 cents. In fact, they left it on because they can't get it off, because it's taken in so much money that the Biden people, I'm sure he doesn't know about it too much, but the Biden people said, we can't get rid of these tariffs. They're making too much money. But what they're also doing, maybe more importantly, their cars aren't coming in, and they're not destroying Detroit and South Carolina, and North Carolina, and Georgia, and all the other places that are involved with making autos and parts. They're not coming in, and we made a fortune on it. And now all we're doing is take interest in it. We were ready to do that. And then we had a little strange election result. We're not going to let that happen again. In my first term, I ended NAFTA, the worst trade deal ever made, and replaced it with the USMCA, the best trade deal ever made. I withdrew from the job-killing Trans-Pacific Partnership. By the way, if that deal would have been approved, it was negotiated by Barack Hussein Obama. Have you heard of him, Barack Hussein? Remember Rush Limbaugh? Rush? We love Rush. He used to go, Barack Hussein Obama. Mr. Wall, would you please stand up? Look at this guy. I got to get a suit like that. He's a successful guy. He's been to 293 rallies. This isn't a rally. This is a workers' meeting talking about bringing our jobs back into the country, which will go so fast. But he's been great. Have I done a good job? Yes? You better say yes. That's it. Thank you very much. Great guy. I renegotiated Barack Obama's Korea trade deal, which was a disaster, to restore the protective tariff on foreign pickup trucks. You know, the pickup trucks is where the car companies make most of their money. because we put on a tariff and we kept the tariff, and therefore they can't compete with us in our country. And we actually make pickup trucks in this country. If that would have gone, called the chicken wire tax, if that would have gone out, you would not have any trucks being made in this country. I stood up to China like never before, placing a 27.5% tariff on all Chinese automobiles, saving the U.S. auto industry from total obliteration. The cars don't come in because they can't compete. And for furniture makers in North Carolina and other places, and in particular right now, a place called Grand Rapids. You know, I have great memories of Grand Rapids because I came to Grand Rapids, I made a speech, I went home, and we ended up winning the election in 2016. Right? But I put a 22% tariff on Chinese furniture. They were destroying North Carolina. They were destroying your furniture areas where you have a lot. And just absolutely destroying. And you make better furniture, by the way. I bought a lot of furniture. I'd go down to with hotels. As I built hotels, I'd buy furniture. I'd go do it myself. People don't believe it. Well, you really buying furniture? Yeah, I'm buying furniture, a lot of it. But I'd go, and it was like North Carolina was the furniture capital of the world. And then it was decimated by China because politicians allowed that to happen. It should have never been allowed to happen. We're going to bring all those companies back, and then we're putting a tariff on China. We're selling their furniture here so that these people can make their furniture. They're better than anyone else. I bought some of that Chinese furniture, and people would sit down in a chair, and the chair would break, and they'd end up on their ass, and then they'd sue me. I never had that with North Carolina. I never had it with Grand Rapids. No, it's true. This was not good. Ladies and gentlemen, the finest hotel in the world. They open, they end up getting a little damaged. They sit down to dinner at the beautiful dining table, and they end up getting damaged. Sir, you have a problem. The chairs break. That's a big problem. The centerpiece of my plan for a manufacturing renaissance will be a 15% made in America tax rate. So, pretty simple. So listen to how simple it is and how good it will be. It'll totally turn our country around, and we'll be a profit-making machine instead of a disaster like we are right now with $36 trillion in debt.